The coronation of King Charles III was a historic event. But what does it mean for Africa? Some have expressed excitement, while others say it is a sad day that reminds them of Britain's colonial legacy. Critics say it is time for former colonies to move on and forge a new chapter, as just like a generation, the monarch keeps changing or evolving. Here's why this grand event drew apathy in Africa and some countries in the Commonwealth.
It was the biggest and most anticipated event in modern history. Millions across the world watched Charles and Camilla being crowned king and queen. There was the usual pageantry and fervour that is involved in the coronation of a monarch, but the enthusiasm in London was not the same in other continents, more specifically the former colonies in Africa and the Caribbean. In Kenya, for instance, not so many were keen on this grand event. People like Graham Louisia, a motorcycle operator, had his priorities elsewhere.
So I've heard about this story of the king being coronated back there in England, but I won't be interested in watching the news or whatever that's happening over there, because we've been mistreated back then by those colonizers. Yeah, we were being mistreated, so there's no need of me watching the coronation of the king.
Charles is also head of state of 14 other countries, though the role is largely ceremonial. These realms, which include Australia, Canada, Jamaica, Papua New Guinea and New Zealand, represent a minority of the Commonwealth nations. Most of the 56 members are republics, even if some still sport the Union Jack on their flags. Some heads of state in various countries in Africa decided to boycott the event in order to send out a message to the royals. 2 days ahead of Charles's crowning, campaigners from 12 Commonwealth countries wrote to the monarch urging him to apologize for the legacies of British colonialism. Something alluded to by Professor Herman Manyora, a communications expert based in Nairobi.
One would expect Kenyans to be excited because of a long shared history. Sadly, it's that history that makes Kenyans disinterested, actually not happy with the British because of the torture during colonialism, because of the oppression, because of detentions, because of killings, because of the alienation of our land. And for that reason, Kenyans will be busy looking for what to put in the stomach, for food on the table, instead of being glued on television watching the coronation. Of course, the television stations will run it, but I don't think many Kenyans will be excited about the coronation.
In fact, days before the coronation, some South Africans called on Britain to return the world's largest diamond, known as the Star of Africa, which is set in the royal scepter that King Charles III held at his coronation. The diamond, which weighs 530 carats, was discovered in South Africa in 1905 and presented to the British monarchy by the colonial government in the country, which was then under British rule. Now, amid a global conversation about returning artwork and artifacts that were pillaged during colonial times, some South Africans are calling for the diamond to be brought back.
To King Charles, I think it would be right for him to ascend his throne, ensuring that he's showing a sign of hope to us Africans, those who were previously colonized well, not by him directly, but by his predecessors. And I think if he wants to be a recognized monarchy, a respected monarchy by the African people, it would be wise of him to return what was taken from us without our consent.
We want the crown to be brought back to South Africa where it belongs. At least it will restore the dignity of the African child. At least it will restore the self-respect of the African child. So it's a touchy subject to me.
In Jamaica, the coronation of King Charles III was seen with apathy as best and at worst a painful reminder of oppression and colonialism's bloody past.
We still have the institutions of slavery and colonization with us today in 2023. And we need to do much more. And so removing the king symbolically ends that phase in our journey. And the work ahead is to deepen the idea of self-determination in the hands of the Jamaican people, shaping a future in a very active way.
Barbados was the most recent Commonwealth country to remove the British monarch as its head of state, replacing Charles's mother, Queen Elizabeth II, with an elected president in 2021. The decision spurred similar Republican movements in neighboring Jamaica, the Bahamas, and Belize. Experts say that despite its flaws, historical baggage, and fraying edges, the Commonwealth still holds appeal, especially for poorer nations. Gabon and Togo, which are former French colonies with no colonial links to Britain, became the association's newest members last year. Most observers believe countries like Jamaica that want an elected head of state are likely to retain their memberships. King Charles was crowned in a ceremony steeped in ancient ritual and brimming with bling at a time when the monarchy is also striving to remain relevant in a fractured modern Britain. Bureau Report, WION World is One.